Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I just got back from the theaters after seeing John Wick Chapter 4. This is a 2023 film that was directed by Chad Stahelski. I went into this movie only expecting just to have some fun. I figured we'd get some cool action scenes, and that's really it. Because I loved the first John Wick film. There was so much about that movie that caught me by surprise, by the story, along with the action. And every sequel since then, I felt like was just like, okay, let's just up the action. And the story was very straightforward. And then I saw how long this movie was. And this movie 2 hours and 49 minutes. So I said to myself, holy shit, how can they just have nonstop action for that long? Are they actually going to up the story this time around? Now that I have seen the movie, I loved it. I did. I loved John Wick 4. There was so much that this movie did right. There was so much that this movie did that I think was very much needed for the franchise to refreshen it and bring in some great story that I wasn't sure they'd be able to try to match, if not match, that first film in the story department. Keanu Reeves obviously is great. I love this era that we're living in right now with Keanu Reeves, with the long hair and the beard and him just being a badass. And this movie, the sequels have all been basically, there's this bounty on John Wick and every assassin's coming in to try to fight him. That's been an ongoing thing. But for whatever reason, this movie, it felt different. For whatever reason, this movie, it felt more dire. It felt more like, holy fuck. It is John Wick versus the world. And there's a couple of scenes in particular, a couple of action sequences, fighting sequences, whether it's John Wick trying to cross the street and everybody's coming at him, or him trying to go upstairs and everyone's coming after him. Like, it feels like this is his toughest challenge, and I love the action. My God. The creativity. It wasn't just John Wick shooting people in the head. How many different ways can he shoot people in the head? Which is what I kind of was feeling beforehand. No, this is like, we're going to kill people, and we're going to do it in some of the most vicious but glorious ways. I had moments of just a smile plastered on my face during a lot of this action, and I don't know if that's more of an indictment on how much I love glorious violence, or if it's just a matter of I appreciated how well all of this was executed, pulled off. A lot of the cinematography and the lighting on a lot of the action scenes. I thought there was great moments that made it stand out and make it feel memorable compared to others. I love the world that they've built up as far as the Continental, or just the rules that are in-house that go along with this. Some of the other cast, let's talk about the new characters, new actors that came in. Donnie Yen, holy shit, was he great. He plays a blind guy who, I don't know what it is about Donnie Yen playing blind and how great he is, but the way how he's able to fight while he's blind. But not just that, he wasn't just a typical villain. He wasn't just the guy for hire that comes in with, you have to kill John Wick now. No, like, he had his own backstory. He had his own reason for kind of being forced into it. And I thought acting-wise, he was great. Bill Skarsgård, what a great piece of shit. The character that he played, he was a great villain, very smarmy, very much you wanted to see him get punched in the face. Scott Adkins has this character where he's wearing this fat makeup and you can barely recognize him. And at first I thought, why did they cast him specifically, who's mostly known for fighting and martial arts, to wear this suit? And then when you see why, it's like, oh, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. Clancy Brown. Very cool to see him here. Ian McShane, of course, you can't have a John Wick movie without him. Lawrence Fishburne, I love seeing him paired with Keanu Reeves whenever I can. Lance Reddick, it was very bittersweet to see him in this film for obvious reasons. And I could not believe how I did not feel the length. I talked about earlier how I went into this. I saw the length, almost 3 hours, and I was getting worried that I wouldn't be into it. But I didn't feel the time at all. I had a blast. I had fun. The movie for me went by way too fast given how long it was. I even stayed for the post-credit scene, and that post-credit scene is worth it. One more actor that I want to mention really quick before I end this is Shamir Anderson. He plays someone named the Tracker, and I liked what they did with his character. He wasn't just like, oh, he's gonna come in and just yet another person to go after John Wick. Like, no, he had his own agenda. He had his own bias, and he had this cool badass dog with him that made all of those scenes stand out. I was racking my brain trying to figure out what rating am I going to give this movie, and for me not to give it anything higher than this, I can't think of anything negative. I can't think of anything that I didn't like about the movie. Fuck it. I'm going to give this a better than sex. This might be my first better than sex rating for a movie this year, 2023. Good job, John Wick. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of John Wick Chapter 4. Do you agree with me that this is the best sequel in the series? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.